I'll talk about now the features and benefits of the Easyboot Fury Heart. So the main features you're going to see on this product is that we have an adjustable length adjustment here, and we have a heel height adjustment. What this allows us to do is loosen these screws, and we have roughly 10 millimeters of heel height adjustment in two adjustments. So we have a slide inside, this pivots up and down, and then we also have a length adjustment where we can get 25 millimeters of length adjustment. One of the things you'll notice when you open the box is you're going to notice we have a bottle of Loctite in it, and we also have a little spanner wrench. This spanner wrench is used, so after you apply your Loctite, if you want to make any adjustments further on in the cycle, you can hold your T-nut inside and still get your Loctite removed. So now I'm going to talk about the accessories that are available for the Easyboot Fury Heart. So the first accessory we have is a neoprene heel sling. And what you're going to notice here is this takes the place of the blue EVA heel sling. This one is way more soft and supple. This is great for a horse that's used for distance riding or a horse that has a tendency to chafe. The nice thing about the neoprene is this can come on or off and be replaced as it wears. So to get this on and off, these two screws are removed. This is put in its place, and then this just threads through the heart buckle. So that's our first accessory. This will be a great seller for us, and again, for horses that chafe or are used for very long distances. The next accessory we have is what we call a pastern strap lock. So this is a strap that this screw right here is removed. It's applied to this portion of the boot. And then on this side, what we do is we take the screw out and we replace it with a post. And so what this allows us to do is add an additional strap that fastens, and this makes this boot virtually impossible to come off, because what happens is as this slides off, this strap engages and there's no way this boot can come off. So this is a really good strap for people that are using their horses in muddy conditions, stream crossings, and really aggressive riding. So those are our two main accessories. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how the boot works on the horse, and we'll step over to the horse and fit them. Okay, now we're going to show you how to fit the Easyboot Fury Heart. So first thing we want to do is we want to start with a foot that doesn't have any flare. We want to start with a good heel length, not excessive, a nice tight trim. This is what's going to make you successful when fitting a boot. So what you're going to notice with the Fury Heart is we have the length adjustment, we have the heel height adjustment. I've just adjusted those to where I think they're going to fit him. And what we want to do when we're done is we want our heel counter to sit here and be roughly parallel with the hairline. We want roughly 5 millimeters of hairline between the hoof and the top of the heel sling. So I'll pull this on and kind of show you what I'm looking for. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull our straps all the way to the end. You're going to notice there's a little bit of a stop here, so you can't pull the straps all the way through. So we'll pull those all the way as loose as we can get them, and we'll pull it over the foot. So I just want to pull the boot through the hole, and then I like to put support the foot here, pull the boot on, and we'll set the foot down. So once we set the foot down, I'm going to start with this side. I like to start with my finger underneath, get it fairly snug, do the last bit here on both sides. And I still want to be able to fit a finger underneath. This is really stretchy, so it's hard to get it too tight. And what you're going to notice here is we have that, we're running parallel to the hairline. We have a little bit of a gap in between. We have roughly 5 mils of hairline showing. That's kind of what we're looking for. We want this to fit nice and low in this area here. So this is a really nice fitting boot. We're tight all the way around, and I'm really happy with this fit. To remove it, we pull it off, pull both your pins, pull this all the way out, and then we'll pull it off the back. I like to grab the back of the boot and start it on one side, and boot will come off. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to show you our two accessories. So the neoprene heel sling accessory is really the same thing as the EVA. but it's more soft and supple. So this boot is fitted with that. You can see it's going to go on the exact same way. We want this to fit the same way, and this is just more used for endurance and long distance riding. This is a more comfortable accessory, and it's really tested well. The last thing we want to show you is the pass-through strap lock. And when this is used, this can be used with the neoprene or EVA heel slings. This attaches on one side with the same screw. On the off side, the outside of your horse, you want to apply the post. This post is outside because you don't want a horse to interfere. So this goes on the same way. So we're gonna pick up the horse's foot. We're gonna pull the boot on. We'll lock both sides down. And again, we're looking for same thing. We want this to run parallel on both sides. And tight, snug fit on your shell. And so what this strap does is the last thing you want to do is put a finger underneath, get your strap on. And so what this does is that if the horse were to start to pull this boot off, it can't be pulled off. This is a strap that's used for people that are riding in aggressive conditions, mud, water. This really keeps your boot intact. So last thing we want to do is we'll pull this off. And the last operation here is adding Loctite. So we have the position we want. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take Loctite and we're going to add it to these two screws and these two screws. That will ensure that when you're going on the trail, your screws don't unloosen and your boot stays tight. So last operation before we get done is this lip right here, especially on a front boot, a horse can have the tendency to come and grab this lip. We're going to show you how to cut down this lip and reduce it so that the horse doesn't pull it off. Okay, the last thing we want to do before we go out and ride is we want to, especially when a boot is on the front foot, this gap we want to remove. And this is created when we adjust the heel counter all the way forward. So on a short round foot, this will most always be adjusted forward. So what we want to do is we want to come in, cut this off, and reduce the chance of overreaching. So we can do that two ways. I'm going to show you with a pair of nippers and a rasp, and I'm also going to show you with power tools. So with the nipper and rasp, what I recommend you come in and just grab a hold of the back here, start taking off what you want. And it's pretty darn easy when you have a sharp set of nippers. So that's taking it off pretty good here. And then once you kind of get what you want off, what I like to do is come in with a rasp and clean it all up. So this is for the people that don't have the power tools. We want to reduce this where we're not going to get in any overreaching. So you can keep coming further and further till you get as much as you want off. And I'm just kind of rounding everything, making it look good with the rasp, and we're done. So that would just reduce a bunch of length. We could reduce it more. That'll work great for this one here. So next one, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do the same operation with power tools. I'll go in another boot here so you can see how big that lip is. And with the power tools, what we're going to want to do, I love using bandsaw and a belt sander. So I'm going to put on my safety glasses real quick and get this fired up. I like to hold this back here. You start cutting off here. So it's cut off now with the bandsaw, and I'm going to move over to my belt sander and just soften all these edges. So now the boot is trimmed up, we're going to be much less likely to overreach, and we can go out and ride.